Hey, everybody. So, I've received some questions from people about how to improve at PvP and stuff, and PvP tips and inertia and stuff. So, I wanted to start this video series, I guess, is what it's going to become, detailing how exactly I would recommend people improve their PvP skills from complete beginner, like day one, no idea what the game's about type level of experience, to very experienced, capable in PvP. And I personally did these exercises myself. I started when I had about 3,000 hours, and I felt like my PvP combat was lacking, and I wasn't quite sure how to improve it. As well as earlier than that, when I was trying to become competent at the game. Namely, I did this to practice my headshots, gun control skills, and hipfire skills. So we'll get into all that. Like I said, this could be a multi-part series. So we're going to have several lessons, each one detailing the next steps. And today is the first step. So let's get started. So for this exercise, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be practicing our skills in offline against scavs. Now, you may think to yourself, wow, that's useless. Scavs aren't people. Well, it's not about the difficulty. It's about getting a lot of quick, risk-free, because offline mode doesn't cost you anything, doesn't consume anything, and you don't gain anything. But there's not really any other way in Tarkov to be able to train yourself and to be able to familiarize yourself with the systems and the guns and mechanics outside of offline mode, right? So with that in mind, we want to try to take it as seriously as possible when we're training so that we get the most benefit from it. And we're going to want to focus more on technique and consistency and familiarizing ourselves with these things more so than just getting high numbers of kills. It's going to be better to do this slower and make sure everything's perfected than to just get it done quickly any way that you can, because you're not winning anything. You're just shorting yourself if you shortcut your training, okay? So with that being said, let's go into it. So we go to main menu. Next, factory. Always do factory because it just makes things simpler. The scavs are tighter together and they spawn quicker. So enable offline mode, enable PvE to get the scavs to spawn in. AI difficulty. There's only two settings that I really use for this. It's as and online, and then it's impossible. Impossible setting, they have increased health, increased reactions. They're about as skilled as raiders. And sometimes they feel like they have as much health as raiders too. But instead of raider gear, they typically have low-end scav gear still. So it's a little bit easier. And then always set the amount to horde, because that allows them to spawn in instantly. Otherwise, on any of the other settings, as far as I remember anyways, you have to wait for a certain period of time, typically 1 to 2 minutes before they spawn in. It's unnecessary. We want as many targets as possible. So as and online is what I would recommend for a complete beginner to be able to do this exercise. Make sure you complete this exercise on that setting before you try to turn it up, unless you want a challenge. So what we're trying to do here is get 25 or more kills on the scavs, with 50% or more of those kills being headshots. And as I go through this, I'm going to talk a little bit about the kind of motions that you want to practice and how you kind of want to go about it. It's not as simple as just walking around and stuff. And let me explain here. So a lot of new players and stuff, they are afraid to get into a confrontation, I feel like. And a lot of it's down to lack of experience and lack of confidence, right? Which this is meant to help you basically form. So when you're doing this exercise, you don't want to just wait around for the scavs to come to you, because they probably won't. They'll probably just hang around you, and you'll just be wasting your time. So what we need to do, and what you want to try to do in PvP, is to be tactically aggressive, meaning that we don't want to just rush into things, but what we do want to get is information, and then we want to use that information to make a decision of whether to attack or to flee. Against scavs, obviously, we're not going to flee. But for example, what do I mean by gather information? So we know that the scavs are outside to the left, obviously. There's several of them. But they're not going to come in here, or maybe they will, but we could wait here all day. So instead of just waiting here all day, what we're going to do is we're going to get information. So we're going to make sure that our room is clear before we peek it. That door's still shut, so it's clear. And then we're going to peek it until we see enough information. Till we get enough information, Okay, so we got enough information. Let's fall back. Because we hear more coming, so we're going to want to play defensive. Okay. Okay, we know where he is. Localize the sound. Pre-aim. He's disappeared. Okay. So we know he's over there. Oh, there he is. Oh, no, it's a different guy. Give it a second for reset aggro. Oh, there we go. He peeked us. Very good. All right, so let me continue to go through this and explain as we go through more on the information gathering thing. So first information is audio and then visual or reverse or whatever, but you want to try to get one or two or more of those things. So we're going to walk around till we hear or see something. Well, no big deal. I have propofol, which will stop the light bleed. Shouldn't need that long. But that's an example of things that can happen, and that's why you want your hip fire to be on point. But anyways, as I go through, sometimes they spawn in like that, and you won't have time to get information. You just have to react, but that's what's going to train your hip fire, and why you want it to be on point. Alright, so visually, nothing. 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 Okay. So we hear him over there. That's our first sign that there's an enemy over here. So we're going to push, clear as we go. Every time we come to a corner like this or anything where we don't know where people are, we're going to be very cautious. And clear, and clear, and clear, and make sure no one sneaks up behind us. Okay. Now we have this whole area cleared behind us, so we can focus on front safely and completely. Okay, he sounds like he's outside or below. No one's above, so we can focus on below. Get information. No information. It's clear. Okay, we saw him. But it's a little bit difficult to push, so we're going to change positions and push him from a different angle. Ooh. Ooh. Boxes like that can be penetrating. Alrighty. So you just want to kind of go through this like this. Trying to get as many headshots and up until you get 25 of them or die. And you're going to want to practice this until you can get it down, because let me be honest with you. The majority of the community can kill 25 as in online scavs without breaking a sweat. And if you find yourself struggling with this, you will have incredible gameplay changes. You will do so much better and you'll be so much more confident if you're able to complete at least this exercise. And then work your way up to completing the other ones that I'm going to show you in the next videos, guys. I have had so many students do this, and I've never heard anyone complain to me that it didn't help them. Oh, I heard him. I hear multiple. One's front, one's left, it sounds like. And one's right. So I'm going to stay here, play defensive, and let right push up. Alright, now we clear left. Left's clear. We can use this to fight now. Oh, there's a lot coming. We've got information that there's too many coming and we're already hurt, so let's back off. Reset positions. Okay. So as you can see, this isn't that hard if you play smart, right? But if you can't do this, there's some things you need to practice, and there's nothing wrong with that, because everyone starts somewhere. Holy sh... He flashed himself. Very graceful. And his friend. Okay, cool. So, that pretty much breaks down how you want to go about it. I'll be honest with you, it's not that difficult, and I'm sure you can get the hang of it. So let me just go through a little bit quicker until I die, or until I get what I think is 25. And when I go through faster, it may look like I'm just rushing around and stuff, but because of how much I practice, what I'm doing is actually just kind of performing all the checks that I was just showing you, but at a higher rate of speed. Because I'm familiar with the process, if that makes any sense. There's no need to be as slow and careful when you're just doing things at a little bit faster speed. And that's what you'll see a lot of high levels doing. Alright, so I know he's behind here, pre-fire. Okay, I got enough information from their constant talking that I was able to make that deduction. Alright. Well, I think that's likely enough for the video. A couple more examples. This is why you want to get your hip fire on point. It's incredibly important in Tarkov. Right. So they'll keep spawning up until the end of the time. But let's extract now and see how many we got. And when you want to extract, you don't actually have to extract. You can just disconnect because, like I said, offline mode, you don't lose anything. You don't gain anything. All right, now you want to come to the end screen here and you want to see how many you got. So I ended up getting 29. And out of the 29, I got 16 headshots. So I would have passed. And that's basically it. I would recommend that you start off your gameplay session by doing this one time, or at least doing it until you can complete the challenge of 25 to 50%, and then go into your raids and you'll notice a lot better performance. And then later on, once you master this and it's too easy for you, or maybe it already is, second part of this video is going to have a more advanced training regimen or training method for you guys that are finding this too easy. So stay tuned for that, guys. But all right, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your raids, guys.